You may have used array methods like map, reduce, includes, toString, but what is the function actually doing behind the scenes? Join me as I recreate these built-in methods from scratch and see what's really going on every time we call one of these methods. Welcome to another Code Cove explainer. Okay, so our first method is includes. In case you don't know what it does, we are just checking an array to see if it includes whatever we are looking for. So here we've got banana. In the fruit array we have banana, so the output is true. And in the second one we are looking for grape, and we do not have grape here, so false is our answer. So how do we go about checking this? For this method we are going to make a function called customeIncludes, and then our two parameters are array and value to find. So array is just going to be, we are going to pass this to our function. Banana will be the value to find. Next we need to do a for loop, so we need to iterate over every item in our array. So for the fruits array it will be apple, banana, cherry, so this will run 3 times. Then we need to check if the current element matches the value we're looking for. So once this is on its first check, it'll be like, does apple match? No. And then it'll be on its second check, and so on. So we're going to say if array and then strictly equals the value to find. So again, once we get to the second one, does banana equals banana? In that case it will be return true because we have found banana. And if we finish the loop without finding the value, return false. So for this example here, the answer is going to be false. We do not have grape or grapes. I feel weird putting grape. Should be grapes. It just seems weird. Banana's okay, but grape. Why would there be one singular grape? So let's test this out the same way we tested out the actual method. Right, let's have a look in the console. Our first one is true and our second one is false. So this works perfectly fine. But this just gives you an idea of what's going on behind the scenes with includes. Alright, onto the toString method. So in case you don't know what this does, it works on arrays. It will turn this array into a comma separated string. So in the terminal we'll have 1 2 3 4 5 and it will be a string, not in an array. I've added 2 for this one just to make sure that our custom one works with different data types. In the console it will be hello, comma 42, comma true, comma null, all in a string. So let's get started. First we're going to start off with a function. I'm going to call it customeToString. The only parameter here is nice and easy. It's going to be whatever array we are trying to turn into a string. And then we need to start with an empty string just so we can put the contents of the array into it. And then just like our other methods, we need to iterate over every item in the array. And then what we're doing here is, as we're going through the array, we are adding that to results. So we got 5 here, so each time it will add that to the string. 1 2 3 4 5 hello, 42, true, null will be added. And then we're just saying if I is less than array length minus 1, then we just want to make sure that we add a comma after the element, but not if it's the last one. And then yeah, when we've gone through the entire way, all we need to do here is return the final string, and that is the toString method. Let's try it with the same examples we have up here and then have a look in the console. Alright, so we got our numbers array again, and we also have the mixed array as well. I've not put what the output is because I want some suspense. What's going to happen? Boom. See, look, you never know. What have I done here? I don't actually know what I've... Oh, see, look, it's because I've got it. One moment. Let's comment this out. You never know what's going to happen. Right, let's do this again. Node main.js. Right, so we've got 1 2 3 4 5, no comma at the end, just like up here. And hello, 42, true, null, no comma at the end as well, and it's accepted different data types. And that is it for the toString method. The forEach method will apply whatever you ask it to do to every element on the array. So we have an array of numbers up here, 10, 20, and 30 for each. And then what it's doing here, when it console logs, it's logging out 3 times, element 10, index 0. So that's the index of 10, and then it's printing out the array again. You don't actually have to use all these, you can just do it as element. It will still run perfectly fine. Let's have a go at making this. So first we're just going to define a callback function to use in our custom for each method. So similar to above, we got element index array, and we're just going to do the exact same console log just so we can compare it to the one above. So it's going to be the function for our custom for each method. It's going to take the array and also going to take the callback function as its parameters. Because it's doing it to every single item in the array, we need to do a loop and iterate over every item in the array. And then this is where we're going to insert our callback function. Each time the loop runs, we are going to put in the element, the index, and the array. So that'll, just for the first time it runs, it'll be element 10, index 0, array, and then whatever our array is at the time. And then to call our custom for each function, we're going to stick to our parameters. So we've got the array, which is the 10, 20, 30, and then we've got our callback function, which is print element details. So if we have a look in the terminal.js, so as you can see, just doing the one down there, I've commented out the one above. We've got the same index as the one above. So we've got element 10, index 0, array 10, 20, 30, and then as it's going over the array, it's doing the exact same thing for each one. That's why we have 3 prints, because there's 3 elements in the array. I also said earlier that it doesn't actually need all of these, even if we've specified element index array. When we call it, it will simply just ignore them and it will just do just the element. So on to our next one. Right, next is findIndex. So we've got a numbers array here, and then to use findIndex, we just use dot notation. This takes a function as a parameter. Element is just every time it loops over the array. So first it'll be 5. The first findIndex of the element that's more than 10. So 5, no. Our output is 1 because the first one that is more than 10 is 12. So it's log into the console the index. So let's have a go at making this function. First, we are going to call our function customeFindIndex. We've got 2 parameters, the array that we choose to use, and then our callback function. So we need to loop through every element in the array as we are searching for the index. Then we need to check if the callback condition is true. So we've got an if statement for this, just to say if callback element index array, we will return the index of the element. And then if it doesn't meet the criteria, we're just going to return -1, just to say no match is found. Right, so just like above, we are going to do the numbers array, and then this is the same array as up there. So we're just going to define our callback function as what we had as the parameter earlier, just to make it a little bit neater inside of here. And then our index is going to equal the result of our customeFindIndex function. So if we log this to the console, moment of truth, we got 1, and up here we got 1 as well. This wasn't it, and then 12 was, and then maybe we can say first one above this ridiculously high number here, -1 because no match was found. Alright, on to our next method. Alright, next is our map method. So we've got a numbers array here, and then inside, so when we're calling map, we're using dot notation on numbers, and then inside as our parameter, we've got a function. So element again is each element inside the array, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we are saying element times 2. So down here when we log it to the console, 1 times 2 is 2, and so on. So let's have a go at making this. Oh, and another important thing to remember about map is that it doesn't alter the original array. It returns a new array with whatever you specified it to do in the parameter. So we'll have customeMap, and then if we make our callback function, so we'll do it the same as we did up here, return element times 2, and then we want to call our customeMap method. So let's make our map method. So we got customeMap, we got 2 parameters again. We've got the array, which will be the numbers array, and then our callback, which will be the double element. And then we want to create an empty array, and this is where we're going to log the results as map returns a new array and doesn't alter the original array. So as we're doing this on every item, every element in the array, we need to do a loop, and then we need to apply the callback to the current element. So again, we're using our loop here, so we're saying transform value equals, and then our callback function, which will be element times 2. So then the first element will be 1, and it's gonna go through here, so times 2, so then that will be 2, and then it's also got the index and the array, which we don't have to use, but we can use it if need be. And then we need to add the result of this to our results array. So we're going to use push, which adds an item to the end of the array, so just to make sure that it comes out in order. And then once it's gone through every item in the array, once the loop is satisfied, it's going to return the new results array. Right, so the same as earlier, we got 1, 2, 3, and 4 as our array, and we're going to save the result of this to doubled, and we're going to say const map. We're going to add numbers as one of our parameters, so that's the array, and our doubled element is the callback function we made earlier, which is going to double the elements in the array. So if we just log this to the console, we've got, so we just look at the one above as well, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, the exact same as the one above, and there you go, that is the custom map method. Right, so the last one on our list is reduce. What reduce does, it takes every element in the array and reduces it down to a single element. So we've got an array of numbers here, and then result, and we've got numbers, and then we're calling reduce on it. So accumulator and current value, we need these when we run, they are required. However, you can add at the end, like I want it to start with 10, so the output here would be 21. There are additional things we can add, but they are optional. So let's get started. So first, we're going to make the function customeReduce. We're going to have the array as a parameter, our callback function, which is going to tell us what to do with the array, and then the initial value. Again, this is, you don't have to add this in, but it can take it as a parameter, but it's not required. So this one here, if the initial value hasn't been defined, we are going to start with the first element of the array. And if initial value has been defined, like when I added 10 earlier, we'll just start with that. Next, if one hasn't been defined, we already used the first element in the array, so we're going to start at the second index, and vice versa. If we did have one defined, then because we didn't use the first element already, we will just start at the 0 index, which will be the first element. So we need a loop, and then we need to update the accumulator by applying the callback function. So our callback function is taking our accumulator as a parameter, and then just like the other ones we did earlier, we've got the element, the index, and then the array itself. And then as reduce is going to bring us back one element, we just need to return the accumulator. So just like up here, we want to use the numbers array, and then we are going to call our customeReduce method. We are going to add the numbers array as a parameter. We're going to define a function inside, and then it's going to take a function as a parameter. So we're going to say the accumulator and the current value, and then accumulator plus current value. So we have a look in the terminal. We are going to get 11, just like we did earlier. I mentioned earlier that you can provide a initial value. So I'll just show you what that'll do. So basically just add in 10 to it. It just starts at 10 instead. You can also mix this up in many different ways. So we'll do times instead. So we've got 480 here, and that's our reduce method. This was the most complicated one out of the 6. Really makes a difference, just, you know, using the built-in methods. They really save you a lot of time. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing what goes on behind the scenes of these built-in methods, and hopefully it helps you to use them in future. If you want me to do more of these explainers, let me know in the comments below, and subscribe to never miss a video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.